Hello and welcome to the Powder Room. I'm your host, Nidra Webster. I appreciate you joining me today. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. So today's question is one that kind of sounds deep, but it's really a question that you might ask yourself while you're laying in the bed looking up at the ceiling and it's about 11:45 at night and you send a little group chat. Is it better to be loved or to love? Now, if you grew up in the church, you already know the correct answer. Of course, we're supposed to say loving simply because of Jesus. But if we're honest, and this is a safe place, being loved is elite. Being loved means you didn't have to even text first. You didn't explain yourself. You didn't even overthink. You didn't apologize for something you didn't do. Being loved is laying there like, wow, this feels peaceful. What a beautiful feeling. Loving, on the other hand, is extremely active. Loving requires energy. Loving requires emotional availability. Loving requires you not to say what you really want to say sometimes. So today, we're going to unpack a few things. Why being loved feels good but scary. Why loving is holy but exhausting. And why God is probably somewhere in the middle saying, can we not just do both without you losing your mind? There's so much joy in loving and being loved, but there's a little bit of suspicion about being loved as well. Being loved feels amazing until you start asking some questions like, why are you being nice to me? What do you want from me? And is this real or is this some kind of honeymoon phase? Can this be the real deal? Because some of us don't trust peace. If things are going too well, we're like, okay, hold up. What's about to happen next? When's the ball gonna drop? Being loved means someone sees you and not just your Instagram you with all the cute filters and whatnot, but the real you. The you who cancels plans but doesn't want to say why. The you that needs reassurance but hates asking for it. The you that says, I'm fine, when you are very much not fine. And when someone loves you anyway, even after all of that, it's beautiful, but it's also uncomfortable because now you can't hide. Now you can't say, I don't need anyone. And some of us don't mind loving others, but receiving love feels like letting someone just hold a fragile piece of china. You're smiling and you're full of joy, but internally you're like, please don't drop this. I've glued myself back together way too many times. On the other hand, loving people will test your salvation. Because loving sounds poetic until people get involved. Loving means loving people who misunderstand you, even misquote you. People who talk too much, you still gotta love them. People who reply K to a whole paragraph you've written. And people who say no offense right before completely offending you. Loving requires patience. And patience is definitely not passive. Patience is bringing your ideas down. And patience is biting your tongue so hard that you can taste the blood. The Bible says that love is kind, but love is also you counting to 10, then starting back over again at 1. And let's be honest, some of us are great lovers, but we love with a mental spreadsheet. We're like, I'll forgive you in column A. You did it again, column B. I'm not bringing it up, but I'll still remember. We love, but we also archive. This is considered conditional. And when people say, just love like Jesus, most of us are like, okay, but I'm not Jesus, so show me how, because these folks are not cooperating. Let's take a look at how we women love and why we are tired. As women, we were taught to love early. We are most often praised for being easygoing, understanding, low maintenance, and my favorite, not like other women. Which is crazy because other women are just women. So we end up adopting the thought that we can't be too much. We can't ask for too much. We can't need too much. And we definitely can't expect too much. We'll love everybody. We'll love everybody else and say, I'm good, while running on fumes and a prayer. We'll give grace like it's Costco sized, but receiving love like it's being rationed. And God is like, who told you love was only something you give? Jesus loved deeply, but he also rested. He withdrew. Jesus did not martyr himself emotionally for people who refuse to grow. As we think about that, I want you to reflect on those who you love. The Bible says we love because he first loved us, which means love is not earned. Love is not performance-based. Love is not conditional on you getting it right. God loved you before you healed, before you matured, before you forgave everybody, before you stopped texting back, even before you stopped answering the phone. So the goal really here isn't choosing between loving or being loved. The goal is balance. Because loving without being loved leads to resentment. And being loved without loving leads to entitlement. And nobody wants either one. There's a few things I want you to consider trying and doing this week, and a couple things I want you to reflect on. Where are you over loving? Because as women, we tend to do that. Where are you blocking love? Where are you saying, I'm fine, when God is saying, daughter, let someone help you? Now this week, I want you to do something. Receive the compliment. You deserve it. Let someone show up for you. And love without self-betrayal. And remember, you don't have to earn love. You don't have to bleed for love. You are already loved so very, very deeply, fully, and intentionally. And that is the place from which love becomes lighter. I appreciate you all for listening. Thank you for taking the time to come back to the powder room. Please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay cute, be healed, and don't let anybody tilt your crown.